Hi, I'm Max Spainhour.
And I'm Troy McCormick. Welcome to Indiana Outdoor Adventures. Hi, my name's Troy McCormick, and we have a very exciting adventure to take you on today. Now, this is something that is unlike anything we've done before here on the show, and we're in quest of the silver carp. The silver carp story, as you're going to find out in the video clips coming up, has a very comical side to it, but it also has a very serious side to it that we want to be sure and talk about. The silver carp is a type of Asian carp. And we have 4 different species of Asian carp that can be found today in North America. We've got the common carp, the grass carp, the bighead carp, and the silver carp. Now, what makes the silver carp so unique amongst the 4 is it's kind of been nicknamed the flying carp. The uniqueness or the very unusual element about the silver carp is they leap out of the water. What we have found is that vibrations from boat motors tend to startle the fish. And when the fish are startled, they actually leap out of the water. 6, 8, sometimes 10 feet up out of the water. And these aren't little fish, mind you. These are fish that can get up 10, 20, 30 pounds, all the way up to 50 and 100 pounds in size. So you can imagine the safety concerns of a boater who is maybe he's speeding down the river 20, 30 miles an hour heading toward his favorite fishing place. Maybe he's out water skiing or water tubing with the family. And then all of a sudden you have dozens of these fish leaping up out of the water. And therein lies one of the problems, and that is with boater safety. What we found out in filming this adventure, the fish literally jump out of the water and into the boat. Now, in the segments we're going to see, I'm the cameraman. I'm getting hit in the head with these fish. Mac has got fish going back and forth past him. And like I said, it can be very comical, but we have to keep in mind the safety concerns of boaters out on the rivers. Back in the 1970s, the Asian carp species, silver carp, were brought into the United States in Arkansas from Asia to serve as a method of aquaculture in eating and cleaning up the blue-green algae problems on catfish ponds. Well, unfortunately, during the floods of major rivers, the water got into the ponds, the fish got out of the ponds, and now we find these fish throughout the inland waterway system. We've got them in the Mississippi, the Missouri, the Illinois, the Ohio, and now we have the Asian carp working their way up the Wabash and other rivers toward the Great Lakes. Now, the biggest problem from an environmental point of view is the fact that these silver carp are bottom feeders. They feed on plankton. They're very good at it, and they can eat a lot of plankton. Now, they're competing directly with our sport fish. And the bigger these fish get, the more numerous they get, the more chances are of literally eating themselves out of all the food and depriving our sport fish and our native fish of the food that they need to survive. Because these carp are bottom feeders, sport fishermen have no way to catch them, basically. They won't hit on a hook and line type of system. And there really isn't a commercial application for utilizing the fish. Now, there are some companies that are trying to find a commercial use, whether as a food product, a fertilizer product, but nothing's really in place yet. And the fish continue to move north. Now, scientists have found the carp all the way up past Lafayette, up on the Wabash River, and there are concerns about the carp getting out of the river into the Maumee River system and then up into the Great Lakes themselves. Both Illinois and Indiana are constructing fences across rivers, both chain link fences across floodways where rivers can flood because they don't want the fish getting out during a flood event, but also they're using invisible electric fences to keep the fish out. There's a major concern that if these fish get into the Great Lakes, which has a $7 billion a year fisheries. And if these fish can get in there and eat out the food source, that'll devastate both sport and commercial fishermen on the Great Lakes. So there's a lot of concern right now and a lot of talk about Asian carp. And today we're going to go out in search of the silver carp. So let's go take a look and see what we found while we were out on the Wabash River outside of Vincennes, Indiana.
But sometimes you just hear it. You can't keep your head on a swivel. I mean, I look up and he's getting wet. Oh, there we go. Woo! Boy, I feel like you missed it. I smacked him down. I got to punch that one down.
Good thing there on the day.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, they're back behind you. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh my God.
That was like 6, 7
You
feet
want to
up in the
hang
air.
her? Oh! 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 Here we go.
Hit the cameraman. Nailed me right in the back.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
There's some good hang.
Watch your head, Ryan. Straight.
Whoa!
Oh!
You're afraid to turn around.
Oh,
There you go. There we go.
Not on Joe C, he said.
Oh, Joe.
Go ahead and get him out. Hey, only got to get 4 more. Yeah, nailed me in the side.
Oh, here we go.
God, right in the head.
Oh! Look at that.
Holy.
Whoa! Look at this. Oh! Hot dog. You're getting whacked in the head. Oh, we got another. Whoa!
Oh,
Catch one. You couldn't catch him. This was slimy.
Almost have my knife right down.
Oh, yeah. Boom.
Oh, they're coming in close. If we hadn't batted them all back in, we would have had the record.
Oh, no. Oh, there's one. I'm on my shoulder. He went right over my
I got you, buddy.
I gotta say, it's hard to hold the camera still.
Ah.
We're gonna get it right here.
Boom! We need to bring the ball here. Oh! Got another. That's 8. 8 in the boat. Look at this. That way.
It was in, back in the 90s.
Oh! How many have we got now?
He bit the pole.
So what do we have, 18 now?
Man, that's not funny. That is not funny.
I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I have to admit I do too.
I think it's broke, too. I'm gonna have to fix that one.
18. There's 18 in the boat. You're gonna.
19.
19. I got scales stuck to me.
Can we hear 20?
Yeah. We gotta get 20.
We gotta get one more here.
That was just like on cue. At Timber Sales and Management, we help landowners meet their forest and wildlife management goals through various management services, from timber management to wildlife food plots to specialized plantings. So whether you are managing your property for high quality timber production or high quality wildlife production, give Dave Powell at Timber Sales and Management a call. He is a Quality Deer Management Association member, and he promotes quality deer management by being the only land certification program inspector in Indiana.
After serving our country, serious injury shouldn't prevent our veterans from enjoying life. Paralyzed Veterans of America works with veterans to ensure that their health care and benefit needs are met, provides assistance with career needs, and offers challenging and rewarding activities. The Kentucky and Indiana chapter of PVA is proud to provide adaptive sports for members that includes hunting, fishing, trap and skeet shooting, bowling, and billiards. Visit us online to learn more about Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Lawrence County is an unexpected destination found in the heart of southern Indiana rolling hills, offering recreational landscapes, a rich limestone heritage, and unique outdoor experiences. This area is limestone country, well known for limestone quarries and stone carving heritage. It's also the home of Spring Mill State Park, geocaches, the scenic East Fork of the White River, and underground caverns. Plan your adventure at limestonecountry.com or call 800-798-0769.
Hillbilly Custom Game Calls, offering the finest and precision-made diaphragm mouth calls for wild turkey hunting. Each call is handmade and gauge stretched for exact tension each and every time. Select from double and triple reed calls like you've never heard before. We also have an assortment of handmade wood box calls, glass and slate top pot calls, and predator calls that will make us your source for all of your custom game call needs. Look for us online at www.hillbillygamecalls.com. Cave Country Canoes, located in the heart of Indiana's cave country, offers a variety of canoe rental trips from half-day outings for beginners to two-day adventures for the more experienced enthusiast. Our canoe trips follow the gently meandering Blue River through the wooded hills of southern Indiana. Abundant wildlife and great fishing opportunities abound. Go to cavecountrycanoes.com for more information about our canoe and kayak trips. Your next adventure is just a paddle away. We're out on the Wabash River today, and we're doing something really exciting. We're looking for silver carp. Now, the silver carp is one of several Asian carp species that are exotics and invasive species that have made their way in up the river system here to the Wabash. Back in the early 70s, some farmers brought in these carp from China and had them in their ponds to get rid of algae. Unfortunately, when the Mississippi River flooded, they got loose and have worked their way up the Mississippi, the Missouri, the Illinois, the Ohio, and tributaries such as the Wabash. What's really interesting about the silver carp, it's also called the flying carp. And as you've seen in the videos, they literally launch themselves out of the water, sometimes 6, 8, 10 feet up into the air. Woo, that was wet. When they're disturbed and scared by a boat motor. Now, this makes it especially dangerous for sport boaters and fishermen out on the river because they can get hit in the head, they get hit and knocked out of the boat. These fish are big. They get up to 20, 30, 40 pounds, record fish up to 100 pounds. Most of them we've seen today are probably in the 12 to 18 pounds. We've probably seen some 20, 25 pounds. I got hit in the head by one, I think, went 30, 35. It seemed really big. Now, the interesting thing about the makeup of the silver carp, very similar to the bighead carp, another exotic and invasive species here in the inland waters, they have a very compressed lateral shape. It's like they're all scrunched together from nose to tail, and they have a very large head. And as you look at the eye, it's placed very low and far forward on the head, which serves them well because they're bottom feeders. They like to eat plankton and zooplankton, the very bottom of the food chain, which obviously competes with all the other fish that are after the same food source. Now, if you look at the head, it's scaleless. It's a very soft, slimy, wet skin, and the rest of the body does have small scales. The gill rakers inside of the gills are very adapted at filtering the water for the zooplankton and the plankton that they eat. And what's amazing is these fish can eat 5 to 20% of their own body weight every single day. It's no wonder they get as large as they do. Obviously, something this big hitting you can be a big hazard while you're on the river, so you do have to be careful when you're boating in areas where they have become popular. It's very exciting to see the fish jumping up out of the water and leaping across the boat, but it's also a hazard on the rivers that we do have to be very conscious of.
Hang in there, guys. We'll get your buddies in there.
There we go! might find.
Oh, that's $1.95 at Walmart.
God! What nasty slime. Oh, that was a torpedo, man.
Oh, well, I seen that one coming. That would have hit me.
Man, I tell you what's all in my mouth. Woo-hoo! Oh, I saw him.
That one had some good air time.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Look out, here they come. Look at the size of that thing. God. They just moved down a little bit on us.
That's 16. Oh, hit that. Do it again, Joey. Hit the boat.
Come out right under my hand. I mean, you really been.
What gets you when you're out here, there's times that you're cruising, when you're just really going real fast, and it just goes right by you.
Oh,
They come
yeah.
up by the boat,
Oh,
they come
man.
right by your head. All you do is see a silver blur right by your head. You go, oh, man, that was close.
Kind of like that one earlier.
Yeah,
The very first one. Yeah.
Well, as you can see, this really is an exciting adventure. These fish come leaping out of nowhere, landing in the boat, slamming into you, and immediately upon landing in the boat, they begin flopping around. Then they begin oozing slime, and they begin bleeding. You'll see, as you've seen in the video, they begin bleeding almost immediately on impact. They're very sensitive, and they bleed from the gills, they bleed from their soft head, where they have no scales on their head, and they just make a mess out of a boat. So fishermen are concerned, obviously, for safety reasons, but also for having to clean up. Fishermen are having to adapt, obviously, to this new peril that they have out onto the river, and they joke about having a CDD on their boat. Now, that's a carp deflection device. And I've seen everything from a metal trash can lid that they kind of use as a shield to batter the fish as they come flying at them as they're driving down the riverways. And commercial fishermen are actually installing plexiglass barriers in front of where the pilot of the boat will stand, so that the fish actually deflect off of this barrier and you can kind of hide behind it because it is so dangerous. You can imagine these fish can swim up to 20 miles an hour. And if they're cruising just under the surface of the water at 20 miles an hour and a boater's coming along at 30 miles an hour and that fish leaps up, we've got an impact that's dangerous to the extreme to anybody in that boat that might become impacted from that flying fish.
I mean, are they jumping in the boat when you're moving along?
Well, that, or if you're sitting still and you rev your motor, I've wanted to play with them, just see what they do. They'll jump over you. It's amazing what they do.
Now, these aren't just little fish either.
No, they're 20-pound fish.
Is it a safety concern when you're out boating?
Well, yes. I've never been hit, but I'm sure they have been people that's gotten hit.
I've seen the carps themselves jump in the boat, and as they're flying, they've cut a woman that I was with all the way down from her mid-thigh to her mid-calf. And the same day, we were doing about 15, 20 miles an hour on the river, and it just stopped the pontoon boat dead in its tracks. Everybody fell down. I mean, they're a serious hazard. I mean, and there's no real way to get rid of them.
So how many do you see at a time?
That's a gamble.
Bunches.
It's hard telling everywhere. It just depends on where you're at. If you get in the right cove, it's hard telling if you won't have 15 in the boat.
Yep.
And if there's just not 15, there's at least 5.
Well, what do you do with them when they jump in the boat?
Kick them off.
Kick them out.
It's
And
like
hope
a gar or anything else.
and hope they stay out.
There's nothing you can really do with them.
No. Well, they said that there's someone in Illinois that's going to process them down and send them back over to Japan or China or somewhere, supposedly going to buy them.
Sell them
Yes.
back to where they came from, huh?
Yeah.
Stay right there. We'll be back right after this commercial break.
Sugar Camp Lodge offers some of Indiana's finest trophy deer and wild turkey hunting opportunities. We have 400 acres of woods, marshes, and farmland that provides amazing habitats to hunt. You'll enjoy great meals and accommodations in our beautifully remodeled 1850s lodge. Sugar Camp Lodge is available for meetings, get-togethers, and special occasions. Visit us online at www.sugarcamplodge.com for more information and to book your next hunting adventure. Looking for adventure? Marengo Cave has it all. Explore the underground wonders of Marengo Cave with our 2 easy walking tours, or go on an adventurous cave exploring trip with hard hats and lots of mud. Kids will love discovering gemstones at the Cave Springs mining flume. This U.S. National Natural Landmark has been open to the public since 1883 and provides breathtaking views of underground cave formations. Visit us online at marengocave.com and plan your visit today. The Old Goat Trading Post in Bloomingdale, Indiana offers not only traditional fur hides, hats, and mountain man-like apparel, but beautifully crafted spirit hides. Artistically sculpted from elk, moose, deer, and buffalo hides, they are the perfect wall hanging for your home or vacation cabin. The shaved hair sculpture and original painted scenes combine to create a natural canvas and work of art. Visit www.oldgoattrading.com for more information. Life Essentials in Brookston, Indiana provides the products you need to become more independent. Products like our Journeyman wheelchair provide all-terrain access for the hunter and all-around outdoorsman. Every year, thousands of people are born with or acquire disabilities. Whether your special needs are for residential, commercial, agricultural, or just enjoying the outdoors once again, we customize our lifts and mobility products to fit your needs. We're raising you to new heights. Call today and we'll work with you to take back your life. If you've dreamed of a western big game hunt or a summer vacation, Wind River Outfitters, Idaho's finest guide service, offers exciting fully guided hunts for elk, mule deer, black bear, and mountain lion, as well as summer fishing trips in the Gospel Hump Wilderness area of central Idaho. Accessible only by foot or horseback, the area reserved exclusively for Wind River Outfitters provides exceptional hunting opportunities. You'll enjoy hunting on a whole new level. Visit www.windriveroutfitters.com for more information. Follow Indiana Outdoor Adventures online with Facebook, Twitter, and our website. Stay up to date with our exciting adventures as we're out in the field filming and meeting new people. From news updates and announcements to Twitter posts by co-host Troy McCormick. Why wait until the next season of shows when you can follow us as we're filming them? Join us online to get the most current news on Indiana Outdoor Adventures. Welcome, I'm Troy McCormick, and today we're at Clifty Falls State Park, the headquarters of the Madison-Hanover Christmas Bird Count, with Dick Davis, the park naturalist here at the state park. And Dick, we've just had an orientation with all of our volunteers that are going out to find as many bird species as they can today. Tell me just a little bit about the origins of this bird count and about the plans for today.
Troy, glad to have you here, first of all.
Thank you.
And Dan Webster, the late Dr. Dan Webster of Hanover College, started this count back in the 50s, I think, and it really got rolling on an annual basis in the mid-70s, and we've done that every year since then. Dan passed away last May, so we dedicate this count to our friend Dan Webster. But typically we will have 8 or 10 people that are hardcore birders we think of here in the area show up, and a handful of others that are interested in birding. And we have really a great group today. You saw them, and
it's New Year's Day.
It's New Year's Day.
And it's raining outside.
Yep.
And we've got one of the bigger groups you've had in years.
Well, birding has come a long way, I think, as a pastime and as a hobby, and just a general interest in resource stewardship. So I tip my hat to all the folks that came out today to count birds. We hope to see 50 species of birds because it's raining. Right. on a normal week. Or rather a day of counting, we would like to have maybe 60, and I think probably the low 60s has been our top, something like that.
Okay. How many species total over the last, 40, 50 years they've been counting? What's the master list like?
I think 101 species have been recorded throughout the duration of the count.
Okay.
That of course is kept. This count is a part of the National Audubon Society's count that's continent-wide during the holiday period.
So the Christmas bird count is being done all over the country In what kind of, is it a 2-week window?
3 week.
3 week
roughly.
window.
Yeah, about a week before, well, mid-December until just after New Year's usually.
Now, and we're not just counting here at the state park. We're close to the epicenter of your radius that you count. Tell me a little bit about the geographic boundaries of where your counters are going today.
The center of our count is just north of Hanover, about a mile north of the town of Hanover. So southwest of here, the count is a circle 15 miles in diameter, 7.5 mile radius, and the center of it actually is out just west of the fairgrounds here on Highway 256.
Now, what do you do with your count? Once you compile everybody's list of what they see, they can count today and up to 3 days beyond today, and then you compile the list, and then where does it go, and how could you access it?
It's entered online with the National Audubon Society's Christmas bird count database. Anyone can go there. You can pull that up, and their software will generate maps for you.
Wow.
So for researchers, this is a pretty good database.
So now I could log online, and I could find the Hanover Madison bird count. You could search for it that way.
You can search for it by name, or you can look at any individual state and see all the counts that are conducted within a state, and then go to each one of those and pick it apart.
That's great. Well, I'll tell you what, Clifty Falls is a great place to come anytime, but we're here on New Year's Day, and I think it's time we get out in the field and join up with some of the birders and get this count going.
We hope to see bald eagles and peregrine falcons in the count, wild turkey, 50 species, waterfowl. We're going to count along the Ohio River, and hopefully we'll have 50 species. Will be a good count for today.
Well, we'll go out and see what we can do.
Hey Dick, tell me what we just saw.
We saw a belted kingfisher, and I think it was a male. The female has a brown stripe across the breast. I didn't see one in this bird, so that means it would be a male.
Tell me about your phone call too from your other team.
Just got a phone call from the Hanover River Road, that's the River Valley team, and they report an adult bald eagle down there. So that's really a nice find for the count. We expect to find them, but we don't always. So it's really a nice thing.
It's been a tough day birding today here at Clifty Falls State Park. The rain has stopped, but it's still wet, damp, and windy, and the birds are holding tight. We have seen some in interesting species, and we hope the other parties that are out see some as well, and we'll see what the final count comes out to be. That's all we have for today, so join us next time right here on Indiana Outdoor Adventures.